All right, daryl Lawson Live coming to you from Southern California here. Happy Thursday. It's 4 o'clock on the nose. It's March 20th, 2019. All right, I love the fact that President Trump is again attacking Obamacare. It says BEA beautiful. It's what he's supposed to do. Obamacare is evil. Let me say that again. Obamacare is wicked, evil, and should have been killed a long time ago. Thank you, Mr. McCain. Yeah, Senator McCain. I'm glad he's gone, but he had the chance. McCain had the chance. The Republicans had a chance to destroy Obamacare and never did. Now that McCain is gone bye-bye, I love the fact that Trump is now trying again to kill Obamacare. I'm going to say this. I think Obamacare is the framework of the Mark of the Beast system. Obamacare, a.k.a. Mark of the Beast system. Sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, how many pages? I was looking at the pages. Originally, it was passed Obamacare March 23rd, 2010. All right. And there was, 2,300 pages, right? So originally, March 23rd, 2010, there was 2,300 pages. Then, September 2016, they added 16,000 more pages. A total of 18,300 plus pages, yeah. And it's broken down into, well, Obama does this. I mean, you can see Obama. He can talk for an hour, and you don't know what the heck he's talking about. What the heck? He loves to look at himself in the mirror. He loves to, be worshipped when he does his speeches. But he can talk for an hour or longer, and he confuses everybody. He says the total opposite of what he originally said. Yeah. That's exactly like Obamacare. Yeah. It's really broken down. I was looking at the page and page and page. Even if you put it in PDF files or computer files, you're still looking at, let me see here, 906 pages in PDF. And that's just the first part. Because it's really broken down into, Obamacare is broken down into two sections. I think the first section, the official, is called the Patient and Affordable Care Act. I mean, it was so unaffordable and so crazy that only the devil can label that affordable. Yeah, but that's the first part, the Patient and Affordable Care Act. And then it was, the second part was Healthcare and Education Reconciliation Act. Did you know that? Yeah. I was looking at the two parts right here. The first part in PDF was 906 pages. And the second part, the Healthcare and Education Reconciliation part, which is really all under Obamacare, was another 55 plus pages. Yeah. But that's computer pages. But if you actually printed it all out with all the sections, you would print 18,300 plus pages. I mean, yeah. Why? Because in Obamacare, they try to hide the Mark of the Beast system. Sure. I got a very interesting article here from healthnetwork.com. They published this in 2016, and they talk about, don't worry, Obamacare, doesn't have the chip, the RFID chip. You're not mandated. But it originally did have it. And I still think that Obamacare still has the framework and the wording to implement the Mark of the Beast. Computer chip or computer technology on your right hand or your forehead, which the Bible talks about in Revelation 13. The Revelation 13 talks about two people, Obama and Pope Francis, in that order. Obama was supposed to come into power first and then Pope Francis. And guess what? It happened that way. And by the way, Pope Francis is the one that is responsible for implementing the Mark of the Beast system. Sure. And they really want to do it through Obamacare. Sure, they wanted to really mandate it through the U.S. and spread it to the world. That's really the original plan. They've been having a hard time. And even now, Trump is attacking it, which is great because that's what Christians are supposed to do. We're supposed to attack the Mark of the Beast system. Now, the Mark of the Beast system will not be implemented till after the next rapture. So don't get your undies on a wad. But nevertheless, the framework for the Mark of the Beast system, in which is a satanic one world government system that combines your the financial system of the world with healthcare into one. So they can control you. Oh yeah, if you control the healthcare, the people's health, and their finances, what else is there? Right? Yeah, and Revelation 13 specifically talks about the Antichrist system, which is run by the Pope, the Vatican, and Barack Obama in the future, finalized, will bring two things together: your finances and your health care. And that's what Obamacare is all about. Even the dogs are freaking out. Yeah, they don't like it either outside. I'm serious, yeah. Well, look at Revelation 13, one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. Revelation 13, verse 1 talks about Obama. Revelation 13, 1, verse 1. Revelation 13, 1, verses 1 to 10 talk about Obama. And then verse 11 through 18 talk about Pope Francis. And it's overlapping, but nevertheless, Pope Francis now, his job is to ensure, Pope Francis's job now is to ensure that Barack Obama comes back into power for 42 months. Pope Francis's job is to finalize the mark of the beast system and try to save Obamacare. Yeah, I think Pope Francis is working overtime to try to save Obamacare, because I really believe the Vatican and the Jesuit lawyers, they're the ones that wrote Obamacare in the first place. Yeah, Obama can't even hardly tie his shoes. He's so lazy. That's why 8 years of Obama almost destroyed this country, because of his laziness, of his demonic laziness, and he was hell-bent, and still is. Barack Obama is hell-bent on destroying America and the nations. That's why he's still traveling around the world, bad-mouthing Trump. He wants to get back into power. He had his 8 years, but he's not satisfied. He wants to come back for another 42 months and set up the one world government. Oh, yeah, and Pope Francis is putting the Vatican's finances behind him. Oh, you don't know that? That's Mystery Babylon for you. Yeah. And then I'll skip down here to Revelation 13:11. I saw another beast. This is Francis come up out of the earth, 2 horns like a lamb, but he spoke with the voice of a dragon. See, Pope Francis is really controlled by fallen angel Lucifer. Verse 12, he exercised all the authority of the first beast, of course, because the Vatican was the one that set Barack Obama into position anyways, yeah, even before Francis showed up. And look at this, Pope Francis and the Vatican requires all the earth, talk about connecting everybody, and its people to worship the first beast, to get hooked up with what? Obamacare? Oh, yeah, sure. The mark of the beast system. Because, listen, Barack Obama is the Antichrist. So what do you call the mark of the beast? The mark of Obama. The technology of Obama that puts everybody on a trackable system, a controlled system. It's all about control. Oh, yeah. Control the internet, control healthcare, control your banking system. Is it not all one now anyways? Sure. I was copying all my notes down here as I was reading through some of the pages, some of the 18,300 pages of Obamacare as it's come to be known, and it is creepy. I'll go over a little bit of it, but I mean, it's control, it's unlimited finances to cause everybody to be spied on, and then if you don't agree, they'll come after you. Penalty, attack, and the Bible says, get your head cut off, or you can't buy or eat or sell. Yeah. Revelation 13:12, he exercised all the authority of the first beast. This is Barack Obama and Pope Francis together. He, the Pope, requires all the earth. Why not? Because they control most banks on the planet, and its people to worship the first beast, connect to Obamacare, mark of the beast system. And I believe Obamacare is the framework of the mark of the beast system, which is basically a trackable device that they're going to require the New World Order to put on your right hand to your forehead. The Bible says it right here in Revelation 13. So that they're going to control your finances and your health. Yeah. And if you don't obey what they want, they're going to turn off your chip or your computer device. Yeah, he says it required all the earth and its people to worship the first beast, the system. Beast, and the Bible talks about a computer system. The word beast talks about the beast is used for the word beast is used for a number of things in the Bible. The word beast is used for a computer system. It's also used for Barack Obama as the Antichrist, and beast is also used for the false prophet, Pope Francis as well. So all interchangeable. That's the beast system, but they're individual beasts. And they're not just a Antichrist. Barack Obama is the Antichrist. Pope Francis is not just a false prophet. He is the false prophet, Revelation 13. They are the ones talked about here in Revelation 13, yeah. All right, let me jump down here. Revelation 13:15. He was permitted to give life to the statue or this image, which is a computer system, and probably Obamacare, so that it could speak. It could do well. I was looking in some of the bylaws. Well, not the laws, really. I guess you call it the bylaws. And they're going to come after people. Oh, if you don't obey Obamacare, they're coming after you. I mean, there's law after law after law that attacks you. Oh, yeah. Did you ever read it? I was reading here in, looking at Title V, Healthcare Workforce. It's creepy. Under Public Law 111-148, March 23rd, 2010, 124 statute.125. I was looking at Title V, Healthcare Workforce. He's putting a workforce. Well, this is what they wanted to. Now, Trump, I'm saying all this because Trump is now trying to finally kill it. I don't know if Trump's going to succeed in killing it, but the fact that he's attacking it is good. The more Trump attacks Obamacare, the better it is. He's already killed the part of Obamacare that penalizes people for not having it, right? I mean, what kind of creepy system is going to charge you for not getting it? If you don't get Obamacare, his crappy health care, he's going to fine you. Well, that's exactly what the spirit of Revelation 13 is talking about. Look at Title V, Healthcare Workforce. This is the first part of the Patient and Affordable Care Act, Section 5101. It's called the Workforce Commission. So Obama was trying to set up a workforce, his little minions, to come after you. Creepy. If you read all there, it's like his little Nazis. Really, yeah, it really is. And then Section 5201, he had, no wonder he did this. This is all in Obamacare. Still there, federally supported student loan funds. Why would he have student loan funds in Obamacare? Well, that's his little Nazis. Yeah, sure. To do what he wants. Yeah, that's what Hitler did. Here's Title V16. I thought this is so hypocritical. He called it, this is Obama called it, in the law, which is right now, that Trump's trying to kill, transparency and program integrity. I thought, how dare Obama talk about being transparent and program integrity? I mean, really, Barack Obama is the worst, he's the most non-transparent president ever, and integrity, he's the worst. He's the most evil in the whole history of the U.S. Oh, sure. This year it's going to be 243 years old. In July, right? July. From 1776, the U.S. will be 243 years old. Obama is the worst president in 243 years. And he'll go down in history as the worst president ever. And I'll go further than that. Worst leader in world history in 6,000 years. Sure, because he is the Antichrist. Watch my videos. I go to my website, daryllawsonlive.com or daryllawson.com, or just type in any engine search, Daryl Lawson YouTube video Antichrist, all right? And I mention over and over the years, I guess over the last 8 years or more. Let me see. No, it's going to be more than that. Because I found out that Barack Obama was the Antichrist in September of 2008. All right? Yeah, so that's 8 to 10. That's 2. To 19, that's 11 years now. Yeah, so I've been on YouTube quite a while. And I've been doing videos on Barack Obama. And I found out that he was the Antichrist. I started doing videos and revealing who he is. Yeah, and what's he going to do? I'm telling you, he's fulfilling all the Bible prophecies of the Antichrist, because Barack Obama is the Antichrist, and Pope Francis is the false prophet. Yeah, creepy. Look at this one here. What else? Transparency, program integrity. Title 6 of the Obamacare. It's creepy because really it's transparency, meaning he wants to see into everybody's life but not his. That's really what he's talking about. He wants you to have integrity and obey what he says, but he doesn't obey any laws. Part 2, targeting and enforcement. That's creepy. In Obamacare, it's called targeting and enforcement. Yeah, that spirit to come after you. Oh, and Obamacare was set up for the mark of the beast system. Yeah, so that you would take the satanic 666 system and have it embedded in your right hand or your forehead, including your financial system, connected to your hand, to your forehead, some kind of computer skin, computer RFID chip, whatever, computer technology in your hand or your forehead, which would connect your bank accounts, your health care, and to Obama's one world government, which he's going to set up in the near future, after the next rapture. Sure he is. Oh, yeah. It's strange that he has in his Obamacare targeting and enforcement. Creepy. And then Section 611, 6111, it's called civil money penalties. He wants total control of your finances from Obamacare. Oh, yeah, it's creepy. And then 6112, Section 6112 in Obamacare, which is right now. You can go take a look at it. I'll put the links here in this video. It's called National Independent Monitoring. Creepy. And what demonstration project? He wants to change everybody to do what he wants, which is the New World Order. Yeah. Monitoring 6114 National Demonstration Projects on Cultural Change and Use of Information Technology in Nursing Homes. He wants to go into nursing homes just because you're in a nursing home doesn't mean you're not going to get the mark of the beast system. Sure. Creepy. Subtitle, I think it was subtitle G, Additional Program Integrity Provisions. Section 6605, Enabling the Department of Labor. So all the government at Obama's... Obama's not president anymore, but his Obamacare is still screwing with people's lives. And it really needs to be killed. Obamacare needs to be killed. Will it be killed? I hope it is. Some of Obamacare is being killed, has been killed. Like the penalties of not having Obamacare or health care you're no longer penalized for that. So part of it is being wounded to death. Just like Revelation 13 said. Yeah, remember Revelation 13. Verse... I'm not going to read all of this. Verse 3, I saw that one of the heads of the beast seemed wounded beyond recovery. This is Obamacare being wounded. But it says the fatal wound was healed. So I'd have to say that it looks like that Obamacare and, of course, his legacy and his power will return. So if it's totally killed, hallelujah, but it'll be revived. Or it may just linger around and parts of it may be wounded to death. Yeah, so either or. Either Obamacare is going to be totally killed by Trump and then revived, or it will be chopped and wounded and paralyzed for a while, which is great. And either or. It's good. Hey, I'd rather... I want it to... Well, it says right here. I saw one of the heads of the beast seemed wounded beyond recovery. So that's, of course, Obama's presidency. He got kicked out. And his Obamacare, which is still creeping people out and hurting people and still bleeding this country dry. It's getting... Trump is attacking it. And it's being wounded. It says even beyond recovery. But the fatal wound was healed. You know, for years people thought that this meant that the Antichrist would be assassinated and come back to life. I think that's an old, and I think it's a wrong interpretation of Revelation 13:3. I think it specifically talks about the Antichrist's power being paralyzed and even Obamacare being hacked up, even to death, but then comes back. So Obamacare will come back one way or another. But right now it's being hacked up. And I say hallelujah and pass the Trump. Yeah, so Section 6114 of Obamacare, National Demonstration Projects on Cultural Change and Use of Information Technology in Nursing Homes. He's going to get the people in nursing homes too. Then I said Section 6605, should be 666, the whole thing. Enabling the Department of Labor to issue administrative summary cease and desist orders and summary seizures orders against plans that are against people. So whatever. Institutions... businesses, people, doctors. Wow. He's got the Department of Labor. He even has the IRS in Obamacare coming after you. So it's these heads of the beast. Section 4201, this is Obamacare, Community Transformation Grants. See, Obama needs people in the communities because he's a community organizer. He's a Nazi. Really, Obama is a communist and a Nazi. You know that, right? Okay. What do you expect? You know that the Vatican created fascism? The Vatican created the Nazis and communism and still runs them on the earth? Sure. And Barack Obama is one of them. Sure. Creation. He is, well, if you look at Revelation 13:1, the dragon, I saw a beast rising up out of the sea. This is Obama. Came from across the ocean. It had 7 heads and 10 horns. 7 continents. I mean, because he's run by the Vatican. 10 horns is these little secret societies with 10 crowns on its horns. It's written on each head were names that blaspheme God. He totally hates Christianity. So does the Pope. The Pope hates biblical Christianity, and that's why the Pope hates Trump. Look at verse 2. This beast looked like a leopard, a Kenyan leopard. It had the feet of a bear. Obama was trained in the former USSR. The mouth of a lion. Obama is a British citizen. The lion represents the British Empire. The bear represents his communism. The leopard represents his African birth. And the dragon gave the beast, this is Obama, his power, and his own power on the throne and great authority. That's why Obama will not release his college records, his school records, his marriage records, his passport records, because you would find out that he's an amalgamation of different countries. And he was a foreign born and brought in by the CIA, which is run by the Vatican, into the U.S. under the radar. Sure, and Barack Obama has used several different Social Security numbers. And because why? He's a CIA asset. And his identity was hidden all these years. You can't even find his passports. His passports were burnt by the government. Oh, sure, yeah. And they're all sealed. Even Trump tried to cause Obama to show us his records, but he wouldn't do it, even for millions of dollars. Why wouldn't he do it? Because you would see, if the records were unsealed, you would see who Barack Obama really is. He came to America as a foreign student. He was born in the area we now know as Kenya. Kenya! The British protectorate of East Africa. Yeah, sure, he's a British citizen. He's also an Indonesian citizen because he needed to get trained in Islam. So his mother took Barack Obama into Indonesia to train him in Islam. They didn't want to train Barack Obama in biblical Christianity. So they had, of course, because he's the anti-Jesus. He's the anti-Bible, anti-Christ. Yeah. So you have to train him in something that's anti-Jesus, which is anything else other than Christianity. That's why Barack Obama was trained in Indonesia in Islam. And that's why for 8 years, Barack Obama said he was a Christian, but his actions denied it, his speech denied it, and he really came against Christians in this country and around the world. He treated everybody else with special privilege, every other religion, but not Christians. And he actually attacked Christians around the world and still is doing that till this very day. All right. Wow. Hello. All right. And then don't forget Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. He was then permitted to give life to his statue or the image, his computer system. This translation says statue, but really it's image, and they didn't know what to use, the word for computer screen. So it's image. It could speak. Can you say computer? Yeah. The statue of the beast commanded anyone refusing to worship it or join it, this whole system, OBAMACARE system, mark of the beast, must die. What? Verse 16, he required everyone. This is the Pope Francis for Barack Obama's one world government, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand of their forehead. And no one could buy. It's a tattoo, some kind of computer device, if you look it up. They couldn't buy or sell anything. Bank accounts without that mark. Healthcare implant on your hand, yeah, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. And then, of course, verse 18, his number is 666. All right, so you believe this? 100% yeah. This was written 2,000 years ago. Creepy. And then if you look at section 4201 of Obamacare, it says community transformation grants. I says giants. I can't remember my own writing here. Grants. So Barack Obama tried to set up a workforce for him to implement the Mark of the Beast system when he was in power. It didn't work because the prophecies state that the Antichrist will be hindered and smashed until the next rapture happens. Yeah, and his system. I thought this was kind of strange. Section 10221, 10221 of Obamacare, which is the law right now, also invades India. Indian healthcare improvement. Oh, they call it improvement, but it's invasion. So he wants to get everybody Mark of the Beast system in the nursing homes. He wants to get the community, all the youth working for him. He wants to, and don't forget the Indians. I got you with the Mark of the Beast system, section 10221. He also uses the IRS. Obama uses the IRS to implement the Mark of the Beast. That's what he wanted to do anyways. Section 2715. Fine failure to provide. There's $1,000 fines here for each failure. Here's one, Part D, penalties. The Secretary of the U.S. May develop and impose appropriate penalties for non-compliance. I mean, talk about freak. And he calls Part B wellness and prevention programs. So he's going to track you. He'll say, well, it's for your own wellness and to help you in whatever, face-to-face, telephonic, web-based intervention. He's called it web-based intervention. Smartphones, whatever. Yeah, so they can spy on you and make you comply. It's under Section 2715, Part B. Obama called it wellness and prevention programs, but it's really spying on you through the web and through the internet. Oh, yeah. Oh, he'll call you a risk assessment. You're a risk assessment. You're a risk assessment. Section 2793, data collection. Unlimited data collection for Barack Obama, spying on you. Well, we're watching today, they're trying to go after Obama, people that were in power and that really spied on Trump during the last election. Oh, you think Obama spied on Trump? Of course they did. They spied on everybody. That Part 2 section I was also looking at, which is called what? Healthcare and Education Reconciliation Act, which is the second part of Obamacare. That's also really creepy. Excuse me. It says here, Section 1, Public Law 111-152, 111 Congress put into action. Section 1A, short title, this act may be cited as the Health Care and Education Reconciliation Act of 2010. Reconciliation? What kind of freaky Nazi, fascist, communist wording is that? Re-education camps? This is all in Obamacare right now. Right now. And then in Section 1501 of the second part of Obamacare says community college and career training grant programs. Again, Obama needs slaves to implement the Mark of the Beast system. Yeah. Section 1002, individual responsibility. A, getting the IRS to attack you. The IRS is a part of the Vatican. Vatican controls the IRS, and so they're all, Obama and the Vatican and Pope Francis, et cetera, are all one now. So they were trying to use Section 1002, the IRS, to attack you. And I don't think that's a surprise. We found out about that over the years, about Obama using the IRS to attack Christians and conservative groups. Section 1002A amounts Section 500AC of the IRS of 1986 as added by Section 1501B of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, and amended by Section 101. Legalese up the Gesundheit. 06 of the Act, amended, inserting penalties. Here's $695 penalties, $325, $695, different IRS penalties against you. Section 103, employer responsibility, payment calculations. I mean, the Vatican really, through Obama and Obamacare, wants to control every aspect, not only of the U.S., but of the world. It was supposed to be the framework to really bring the world under Obamacare. Yeah. Creepy! Here is one. I thought this was creepy, and I'll get to these articles, because I have to hurry. 42 USC 18121, Section 1005, implementation funding. In general, There is hereby established a health insurance reform implementation fund. This is where the money comes from. Within the Department of Health and Human Services to carry out the Patient Protection Affordable Care Act, OBAMACARE, B funding. It will be known as the fund, right? The slush fund. Here is the appropriated to the fund, they call FUND, out of any funds in the Treasury. Any funds in the Treasury Obama can take from. Here it's allocated to start with $1 billion for federal administrative expenses to carry out such an act. It's I thought, oh, creepy, and that's just skimming the surface of how Nazi-like Obamacare is, yeah, and invasive in every part of life. And I'm glad that Trump's going after it. Let me read some of the headline news of Trump first, and I'm going to close this up very quickly. All right, Trump side, here's New York Times, CNBC, The Hill. Trump sided with Mulvaney and pushed to nullify health law, which is Obamacare. Nullify it. Whoo-yah! CNBC.com, 3 hours ago, Trump renews attacks on Obamacare as he hits the 2020 campaign trail. Hallelujah! Here's another one. Group of GOP, thehill.com, group of GOP senators writing spectacular Obamacare replacement. Keep on chopping at it, boys. Keep on chopping at it. Here's another one. Trump says he asked a group of GOP senators to craft Obamacare replacement plan. Washington Examiner. CNN attacks it, really. No fresh proposal to replace Obamacare. Well, on CNN, yeah. Here's the Daily Beast, which is a good name for it. They're saying that this is a dumb move. Abby Huntsman on Trump Obamacare's pivot. What a dumb move. No, it's a great move. Splitter.com, the GOP's health care plan is death. No, death to Obamacare. They're trying to scare people. John Roberts and Trump Obamacare rematch. Great. Bloomberg.com, Fox News. Trump pushed to invalidate Obamacare. Spark clash within administration. Even Pence is going, wah, wah, wah. I don't really care for Pence. If you've been watching my programs, I have thousands of videos and I do shows all the time. And postings, you can look at darylawsonlive.com. Click the links. I was never a fan of Pence, and still I am not. Yeah, Trump pushes to invalidate Obamacare, spark clash within the administration, which is great. Fox News. I'll probably read from that here in a moment. Here's another one. Mick Mulvaney has consolidated his influence in the White House, which is great. Super. It's music to my ears, and this is what Trump needs to do. Trump is a born-again, spirit-filled Christian. Trump is a born-again, spirit-filled Christian. He's trying to do that which is right. He's not perfect, but he's the perfect person for the job. He's the best president in almost 150 years. You have to go back prior to 1871 to get a decent president. Probably back to Abraham Lincoln and before that, yeah. He has the spirit of Christ in him, pushing against the spirit of the Antichrist, which is Obamacare and the Vatican's New World Order agenda. Sure. Trump pushed to invalidate Obamacare. Here's Fox News. Like that title. President Trump's fresh push. Oh, fresh. I love it. For the elimination of Obamacare. Followed a disagreement within the administration with top officials and Vice President Pence. Pence advising against the move, according to multiple reports. I hope Pence does not run again for vice president. I would like to see somebody like Sarah Huckabee Sanders be VP with Trump. The Trump administration Monday told the Federal Appeals Court that the whole Affordable Care Act should be abolished. With Justice Department attorneys filing a letter with the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans, agreeing with a ruling by a federal judge in Texas last year that the health care law is unconstitutional. Yes, it is. And unbiblical, by the way, too. The Department of Justice has determined that the district court's judgment should be affirmed. The Department of Justice has determined that the district court's judgment should be affirmed against Obamacare. Because the United States is not urging that any portion of the district's court judgment be reversed, the government intends to file a brief on the schedule, the filing right. Yeah. So it's been dismantled. So the penalty for not having Obamacare has been removed, so it should be dismantled. That's basically what it's the filing is generally reading. Yeah. Determined that the district's court's judgment should be affirmed because the United States is not urging that any portion of the district's court judgment be reversed, and it's not. He's already dismantled the penalty for Obamacare. Yeah, yeah. The decision to support the total overturn of the law was made after Trump sided with the White House acting chief of staff Mick Mulvaney. So far, I like this guy. A staunch critic of the Obama-era health care program, rather than following the advice of Attorney General William Barr, and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar, who both reportedly cautioned against the proceeding. Trump was apparently encouraged by Mulvaney and saw the move as a way to deliver on his campaign promise to overturn Obamacare. He tried. But thanks to McCain, no thanks, in its entirety, instead of to overturn Obamacare in its entirety instead of only partly dismantling the system by nixing the penalty on the individual mandate. Ooh, wait. Anyways, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. So Trump's trying to go for the jugular vein on it, and I think it's great. Okay, quickly here, I'm going to put this one here. Obamacare, they call it the chip hoax information. The facts about the Obamacare RFID chip myth. They're saying that this article here from healthnetwork.com says there was some wording in the original bill. I think it was HR, was it 3500? And then it was taken out, and it's not in the real Obamacare bill that we have right now. Well, I think it is. I think it's just been reworded. I think, yeah, it says here, let me see here. I'm not going to read all of this for time's sake. Before the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act was finalized and passed into law on March 23, 2010, there was a lot of speculation about what this new health care reform bill would look like and carried out with the citizens, et cetera, et cetera. Then it says here, the RFID chip was one such rumor that caused some hysteria. Hysteria? A lot of confusion, all right? Most of all, a lot of the opposition to the language of law that no one had ever yet seen. Well, you're looking at, 18,000 pages, eventually it turned out to be right now. It was originally 2,300 pages, and the U.S. Congress is known for passing things without reading them. 16,000 more pages were added in September 2016. 18,300 pages. Yeah, they did it on purpose, so people would be confused, and that I believe that the mark of the beast system could be hidden effectively in Obamacare. Yeah, creepy. It is creepy. It says here, somehow the rumors about the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast system, still have legs and are running around the workplace. The bottom line is that even though the Affordable Care Act, which is more commonly referred to as Obamacare, is more than 900 pages long, how about 2,300 pages long, and not many people have actually read every word, that's the problem. Within the bill, there are people who have and they say with certainty that the law does not propose, let me see this again, more than 900 pages long, and not many people have actually read every word within the bill. There are people who have, and they can say with certainty that the law does not propose, suggest, or plan to implement any program whereby the government would implant an RFID chip into its citizens for any purpose. Yeah, sure it won't. They're saying it's a hoax, it's a hoax. Prior to the Affordable Care Act actually being passed into law and published for your reading pleasure, people were desperate to get their hands on any detailed leak to figure out what the final version of the law would require. There was a version of the bill that was written by the House of Representatives on July 14, 2009, which is HR 3200, and it was changed. What was it? I think it was HR 3590 that was finally passed. You know, and even though that version of the bill never passed secondary review, people embraced some of its language as truth. In particular, people interpreted a specific section of the HR 3200, which was buried at the very end of the drafted bill, as requiring all citizens, including newborn babies, to be implanted with an RFID microchip, which was nicknamed the Med Chip. The section of the bill, which is further examined below, stated that under the Affordable Health Care Act, the original version, the government could collect and analyze the data from implanted devices. It was in there. Despite the fact that the draft of the bill said nothing about any mandate that all citizens be implanted with the MediChip, well, according to their interpretation. The media, our local grocer, or grandparents, teachers took a leap of logic and believed that the administration was going to mandate that all citizens be implanted with RFID chips. Well, that's what they wanted to do. Yeah. And they even had a deadline in there in the old bill. I think it was March 23rd, 2013. That's what they wanted to. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm going to skip down here. I'm going to put a link on here, and I read that Obama wanted to put. I mean, the language was plain that Obama wanted to have this RFID, this implantable device, out in the open, but then really kind of buried it in the final version of Obamacare. But it was in there, and in this article, it's really, really creepy. Yeah, I mean, it's. There are multiple reasons why this information, people were talking about this, because it was plain. Yeah, it was plain. And they give you the page numbers and everything on here. Myoma, they're talking about the RFID chip, which is a radio frequency identification. They can track you that. You have it in animals right now. You have it in different, you have it in clothing, whatever. As the saying goes, there's a grain of truth in every rumor told. And the RFID chip rumor is no exception. A very early version of the Affordable Care Act, Bill H.R. 3200, which was drafted on July 4, 2009 in the House of Representatives, included a section under the heading of other provisions regarding the National Medical Device Registry. This registry would function under the Federal Food and Drug Cosmetic Act and by the Food and Drug Administration, and had the H.R. 3200 version of the Affordable Care Act passed, would consequently also cause the Federal Food and Drug Cosmetic Act to be amended to then place the National Medical Device Registry under its jurisdiction. The explanation of what the registry would do and how it would function in the H.R. 3200 draft of the bill is the reason that the RFID chip rumor was fostered. The actual language of the bill says that the rumor would facilitate analysis of post-market safety and outcome data of each device that are used in a patient and blah, blah, blah. And it gives the exact language. Anyways, the Secretary is to establish a national medical device registry. So they're going to have everybody hooked up to it. Outcome data, they're going to, all the data will be sent to the government. Used in or on a patient is exactly the wording in Revelation 13. It'll be a class 3 device. Class 2 device also that is implantable, life-supporting or life-sustaining, and all this legalese, blah, blah, blah. It was in the original Obamacare plainly. I think it's been hidden in the final version of Obamacare, yeah, which is H.R. 3590, which is the bill that was passed into law. Say what you want. Obamacare is a liar. Obamacare is coming back, one form or another, to implement the mark of the beast system right after the next rapture. You don't have to be deceived. Get born again, get spirit-filled. Jesus washed my sins away, fill with your Holy Spirit, get in the Bible, read it, and do it. And watch my videos, darylawsonlive.com. Help you go forward and not backwards. I love you. darylawsonlive.com. Bye for now.